You here. Oh. All right. There we go. We'll do that. Good morning. Oh, day 2. The beginning of day 2. Usually I do these recaps at night, like when I'm in the truck, it's at night. If you guys go back to my Matt's 2019 videos, you'll see what that looks like. Are notifications going out? Probably not. I'm 6 Central, which is fine. Yeah, YouTube's been hammering some people's numbers here lately. So, anyways, we'll there it is. It's weird. It's showing up, right? But it's not. It's not. It's not doing its thing. So anyways, let's push play on this. Not doing its thing. All right. Let's put a comment. And then let's give a thumbs up. Maybe that'll help. Oops. So, are we finally getting some people in here? What's up? Kick the hooker already. Is that all you guys think about when you get a hotel room? No, we actually got back. Earlier last night than the night before. It was good because man, I was tired. So there's the notifications. So, anyways, we got our coffee. So I know, Smooth. It's okay. It's okay. That's I don't know. I've never understood that industry, like having to pay for something like that. Although I don't judge, right? I don't judge. Good morning. So I wanted to kind of go over something that. So here's what I struggle with. So if you're coming to Matt's, grab one of these. Okay, grab the book. They're where you register. Okay. And I want you to take a look at that map. It's on page. What page is this? Look for the Pro Talks Education series. I want to say it's page 20. This 3D map is important because you can get lost fairly easy. So this is where Thunder Funding is, right there in this orange section. This is the West Wing. Okay. The blue is the East Wing. Actually, no, that's the North Wing. See, it's still confusing, right? So, anyways, I have only walked from here to there and back. That's all I've done. The concessions are right here. That's where the veteran wrap trucks are from different companies, which are pretty cool. And then when you walk from here to here, you got to go through the hallway because this spot right here is a big, huge arena. So you got to kind of go around it. But I plan on hitting this area and this area today or tomorrow. And I will be bringing the cameras with me and all that. But if you are, this is the West Wing, so yeah, this is where I enter, and I park right over here. This is where Thunder Funding is, about right there. Actually, about right there. So, get this book. It's very, very Important. Because if you don't, you're going to get lost. And of course, the book has all these different, maps, like color-coded maps for where the booths and exhibitors are. And we are booth. Um, 63104, I believe. Yeah, 63104. So, right there. And then they have like a table of contents in the back. There's a couple of at the entrances. There's a couple of "You Are Here" type maps, which would have been handy yesterday. So yesterday, I picked up Pale Rider. So Pale Rider was going. He was getting antsy in his Airbnb. Had no coffee, right? And called him up. Said I'll be at your place at 9 a.m. And he's like, all right, cool. So I go to the Dunkin' Donuts here because I'm going to surprise my good friend with coffee instead of picking him up and then finding coffee, because his Airbnb is literally like a rock's throw from the expo center. Of course, he's got to cross the interstate, I think, to get to it, but regardless, right? So I go into Dunkin' Donuts, and this is the old man in me right here. I go in there, and it's disheveled, it's dirty, and I now the cool thing about this area is that every restaurant has their health inspection grade on the front window. I don't know if that's manipulated. I don't know. Like, you pay the guy off, you get above a 99, but whatever. But it's kind of cool, right? I would think that if you're a restaurant, you wouldn't want to show like an 82 or something like that. And I'll get to the comments here. And I order 2 black coffees. Now, in the old Dunkin' Donuts days, it was, there you go, sir. But no, they were too busy making frou-frou drinks and sandwiches and these weird omelets. It looked like Taco Bell. They got that big oven with the flat thing that you put in, and and there's like literally 30 orders that they're making on the counter. Obviously, it's a DoorDash thing, because nobody's there picking that up. Meanwhile, I just need 2 black coffees. It took me 15 minutes to get 2 black coffees. And, and I was kind of having a weird morning anyways. I was all disheveled, and it was just like, but so here's what I did. So with my frustration of my navigational skills at the show, I had to solve that problem. So this morning I took like an hour and I looked at where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, where I needed to be, and had a plan. I put a plan in place, just like your business, just like life. For example, for navigating Louisville, Kentucky, I put pin drops. Like, I pin drop where Pale Rider's at. I pin drop the entrance of where I need to be. I pin dropped where the car is. And that way I can just put Google Maps on the walking thing and boom, we're there. I memorized the parking lot number I was at. I looked on Google Maps at my location to see where I was at in conjunction to the rest of the expo center. And so I do that with shippers and receivers. So when I go to pick up or deliver a load, before I get there, I take time in the morning while I'm drinking my coffee before my pre-trip, and I'm looking at where am I going to go in the entrance, especially if you're delivering like a Walmart or Sam's Club store, which I do quite a bit. And I will look at, okay, what's the best entrance? What's it's not 100% accurate, but you look for gates, you look for guard shacks, you look for the best way in, that kind of thing. So, something, are you in a car? Something, I forgot, I don't have streaming errands. Good morning, Steve. I hope to see you today. Where should I park? Maybe go around and park by Freedom Hall. Um, Let me look here. Let me look at the. I gotta find the page again. Your main parking, if you're in a car, is over here. If you're in a truck, go to the truck parking. There's an address on the website, and then there's a shuttle that takes you basically to this entrance right here. So I park on the, like, literally the entrance closest to where Thunder Funny is. If you park in this area and you go in first, there you'll see the concessions in one direction, and it's just it's a big place. Just look for the main parking that's not behind the, that's not north of the store or the facility, not store. What the hell? So, anyways, but yeah, definitely pick up one of these. Have a plan, and if you don't have a plan, create one after you go through. Because the first day, you're gonna be like, oh, if you've never been to Match, you're gonna be like, oh wow, look at all the things. You're overwhelmed by it all, and then the second day you're like, okay, I'm gonna have a plan. I'm gonna go in there, and then you go in there and you're still, So it's kind of, I don't know. It's just the nature of this. Is my third year, and I'm starting to get better at it. Starting to. We met a few people. See, DIY came by, Pigtail came by. Sammy Makes Sense came by. Cab Over Terry came by. Day Cab, I think, Day Cab or Smooth. Smooth, did you come by? Yeah, so I forget. So, I haven't seen Alex yet. I went by his booth to look at his shirts. I did buy a shirt from Big Rig Tees, not Big Rig Tees. Hot Rig Apparel. I got this one, the POW, and I got this because I like those Peterbilt cab overs. That's what my dad had when he was an owner op in the '80s, and they had my size, so that's pretty cool. I haven't really got so much. I've gotten 3 pens. One from 123, one from Light Trucking, and then this one from, I can't read it, whatever that says. So, oh, and a couple of bottles of sanitizer that can go on your keychain. I actually looked for that one. I was like, okay, because I didn't bring any with me. And if you can't get your coffee before you go to the show, visit the 123 Low Board and we'll give you coffee for free. So it'll be a cup this size, and it's Kirkland, the Costco brand coffee. It's good stuff. But I was thinking about, so here's the problem solving skill. If you're a business owner, if if you're having trouble navigating something like a bad or down market, what steps can you do to change that? And just like the truck show, I had trouble navigating of where I was at, what I was doing. I thought I had a plan in place, and it faltered because yesterday we went to the West Wing, Pale Rider and I, but we didn't have our badges yet, and I didn't have Willie's phone number. I guess I could have gotten it from Jeff, but I know those guys are expensive. But had I met them at the lobby of the hotel, I probably could have gotten them before we walked in. So we walked up, and they're like, "Hey, I'm a vendor," and they're like, "Well, you need their vendor pass." And then Pale Rider didn't have his pass on him yet, so he had to go all the way around the building to another entrance, and we registered there, and then we got in. No big deal. Um, that was like that should have been when I what I should have walked the show, because there was a lot of free swag that was reserved for the VIP. So there's a lot more hats, a lot more shirts and stuff, like if you're into that kind of thing. But Pale Rider and I were we walked in, we had no idea where we were at in conjunction to that map. That's why I'm pointing that map out. So I think what we did is we came in here, or even here, and just it was, yeah, it was a bit of a, or actually we might have come in the backside of here. I don't know. It's still confusing to me. So, but now I know exactly where I need to be. We're exactly where we're going in. So Pale Rider, we should be good to go because we got our badges. Does Petra have a booth or TA? Yes, absolutely. They not only do that, but they're supplying the lanyards, that you hang your badge on. So no coffee yet. So Pale Rider will get some when he gets to the 123 board, because I am not going to give that Dunkin' Donuts another penny of my business. So on this particular store, there are other stores that are good, but it was just stupid. A lot of angry people in there. Um, and they literally had like 8 workers. It wasn't like a shortage thing. It was like 8 workers, and they were just like, all right, I'm gonna make coffee. Oh, so yeah, the other day I was out on this date, and this chick was doing this, and oh man, yeah, so where's the lids? It was like that. It was just like, ugh. So, anyways, let's do some comments. Shout out, Smooth Truckin', Mr. Charles, what's up? CB, Almond Chimera, Desert Okie Pan, good morning. CDN Freight Broker, good morning. Dying Breed, what's up? Nothing Witty is in the house. Passing Louisville in 15 minutes. We'll put on the air horn to say hi. My name is Nobody, good morning. Alfalfa, coupons. I don't know if there's coupons in here or not. I don't think there is. No, there's no coupons. It's the beard. The beard adds wisdom. Josh the vegan, what's up? Vegan, sorry. Good morning, Steve. Hope to see you today. Where should I park? Maybe go around park by the Freedom Hall. It just depends on how much walking you want to do. Wish I was there, Steve. I would definitely track you down someday. Pale Rider TV says Smooth Trucking. Get your coffee this morning, Marty. Already read your comments. Ryan Peterson, the problem with DoorDash and Uber Eats, orders sit there for hours because the drivers look at the order, and if it's long distance and mileage or nobody tipped, they won't take it. It just gets passed around. Yeah, my son's doing the DoorDash / Uber Eats thing, and obviously Springfield is a smaller market than say Louisville, Kentucky, um, but nonetheless, he's never done that. I mean, if he's on the wrong side of town, I mean, he probably won't do that. But and every now and then he'll visit one of the surrounding towns like Ozark or Marshfield and do their DoorDash for them, because there's less competition. So he's applying things that a lot of people running the spot market might apply. Um, Quick Williams, that's who I met yesterday. Not Day Cab. I don't know why I was thinking Day Cab. Quick Williams, that's who was hanging out with Terry. So no, I don't see any coupons in the book. It's just all maps and advertising and booths. So yeah, there's no coupons in the book. Now, the other thing I learned from this trip is my business cards for the YouTube. I should have I had this big blank spot right there that I could have put a QR code. I did not do that. And so the next batch of cards will have that, I believe. And Vistaprint offers that. Because here's what happens, right? So your badge has a QR code. So they have scanners there. And so the scanner, like, hey, and here's the other thing. So let me show you something. So I ran into these guys, Three Fat Truckers podcast. They were handing these out. And so we swapped cards, and then their website is right there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Is staying keto? No, especially after last night's dinner. I've been struggling a little bit with the breads and the fasting. So I kicked it into high gear this week or last week, knowing that this week was going to be a bust. And I could definitely feel it. The first night we went to this Brazilian steakhouse, which you can be keto and carnivore there, like it's perfect, right? The problem is the amount that I consumed. I will Dying Breed, send me a text to remind me so I can send it to you. Last night was pizza. So the keto thing is out. And here's the interesting part, right? I was hungry this morning despite how much I ate. So that's an insulin spike. So one of my intentions is to hopefully talk to Dr. Ken Berry tomorrow morning and tell him where I'm struggling, because I've gained about 30 pounds back of the 120 that I lost. Yeah, that's where we went, Kevin. Oh yeah, I forgot you're around here. So I can see that from the entrance, from my window. I can see the 4th Street sign. That should tell you where I'm at. I forgot you're from here. So I don't know what tonight brings, and I've also strayed with drinking on occasion. So at home. So it's actually tougher for me to stay on a full-blown strict keto diet at home than it is in the truck. And that should tell you something, that it can be done in the truck. I lost my 120 pounds while in the truck. It's harder for me to do the fasting, so I downloaded a fasting app. I've restarted the MCT oil, and I did buy some of these keto slim fast like little cups that have MCT oil. There's no bad oils in them. Like some of the stuff marked keto still has like modified food starch, MSG and canola oil and crap like that. And it's just like, but I mean, I can definitely feel it. I feel like I've got about an extra 10 pounds just in the 2 days I've been here. And I probably do with water retention or whatever. So if you look at the thumbnail, Kevin, on yesterday's live feed, I think that'll show you where I'm at. So it's been a challenge. So, and I need to basically get back to what was working. Sometimes you stray and you got to get back, right? So the sugar is still not a problem. The sugar is still like people offer me donuts and crap like that all the time. I'm like, no. Because I truly believe that sugar feeds cancer. You cannot convince me otherwise. So, and because of all the chemicals, in the industrial environment that I am, I'm more successful, that I've been in, I'm more susceptible to that. It was really interesting. The pizza place that we were at last night, we were literally right there off the street. They have like these garage doors that open to the outside. So it was tough having a conversation with people with all the traffic going on. So, but yeah, that's where we went, Kevin. It was really good. So I don't know what tonight brings. So we'll see. We'll see. Then I believe a few people will be showing up tomorrow that are going to be cool to see. Shannon, call me after this live feed. We'll have a conversation. I wanted to talk to you about something. And then Pale Rider knows what time I'm going to go pick him up. Saving Pale Rider on some Uber money. You should see Pale Rider. He's got his microphones. He's got 2 cameras. He's got his monopod. Snorelord and myself turned down a free donut yesterday. That is true. When I'm feeling off from eating too much, lots of water, and a good workout to sweat out and get back to feeling neutral. See, and you're absolutely right. And the lacrosse ball that you got me, I've brought it with me because there's a part of my thigh that gets nummy and tingly, and I have to massage it with that lacrosse ball to kind of get things back in check, and then stretching. So if you see me stretching in weird positions when you approach the 123 Thunder Funding booth, then you know what's going on. Everybody's been great. Talked to quite a few drivers. We talked to one of our former contractors that has his own authority. We talked to Sean Price. Chad Boblet came by and said hi. And like I said, Quick and Cab Over Terry and Sammy Makes Sense. DIY Semi. I think we're going to hang out later. So, Utah Trucker, there's no telling. There's no telling if that's what happened. I didn't realize he had deleted his channel. So if there's a YouTuber that's not putting out great content, I just don't watch. So I have no idea. I've not been keeping track. Me and Dee Dee are on our way on our morning walk while getting unloaded in Atlanta. Good morning, T-Bone. What's up? I have no problem sticking to carnivore when I'm in the truck, but I don't do it at home. The problem is that when I get home every day, so basically I'm not doing carnivore at all. It is a challenge because it just is. And so I've been doing these 16, 18-hour fasts, and I've been pretty much sticking to that. And yesterday, too. Yesterday, I went from, like, we ate at the Brazilian Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon, and then I didn't eat anything till about 3 o'clock yesterday. That's when Pale Rider and I, if you watch Pale Rider's channel, um, he put out a video and mentioned that I bought him pizza. Well, that's what he wanted, right? He didn't want me breaking the bank, so, but I offered, right? It's not like he was begging or nothing like that. And because he's a friend, I want to buy him lunch, right? So now Pale Rider put out a video yesterday of me demonstrating the 123 low board, and there's a little bit of wrong information on that. I was explaining, so 123 has these new features, and that's one of the cool things about this. Lauren from 123 low board is hanging out with us this year. He wasn't able to show up last year. And there's 3 new features that I'm going to start showing on my live feeds in the mornings, once I'm back at the house. And there's a new feature that I want to show off, and I was showing off a little bit, but I mislabeled the wrong thing. So I have to correct what I was saying on Pale Rider's video. So I don't want to tell Pale Rider to take this video down, but so there's a few things that I want to go over. So there's let me see if I can find it here. So when you look at a load, they have these new features, these new add-ons. There's rate check, cargo chief, and green screens. Now, green screens is the lowest low and the highest high. It gives you the range right there on the front of the load, whereas before you had to kind of dig, right? So the cargo chief, which is not, it's still locked up for me, but that will change after the show. That's actually based on the real freight bills. So that information, and I will demonstrate that probably today at the 123 low board. Brokers aren't going to like that. Lauren was explaining this to us last night. The brokers aren't going to like that because it's showing the actual what the freight bills are going for. That's that information. If that information is there. Now, if it's something like Springfield to Anchorage, Alaska, there's not enough history there to put that out. And so it goes far beyond just the rate check. And so, and the busier the lane, the more accurate the information is. Like, that's why when you see me show some loads, like if you look up RGN, there's no average rates because there's not enough information for them to put an average rate on that. And so I am looking forward to showing you guys these new tools. And I will show a little bit of it if I get somebody to help me with the camera today at the show. And then also, if you want a live demonstration, just talk to me or Jeff, and we will do that. But cargo chief is something that's really exciting, and so what Lauren explained to me is that they want to be driver focused, whereas the other low boards might want to be more broker focused, and it will create more transparency for the drivers. All you guys screaming out, we need transparency, we need it. Well, the 123 low board is going to give you that with cargo chief. So because that information is based off of actual freight bills. So as soon as I can show that off, I will. And I'm really excited about it because the mindset that Lauren has is driver focused, because they realize that we need as many tools as we possibly can get. and because it's difficult navigating right now. That's all there is to it. I mean, depending on your mindset, depending on how you set things up, depending on your foundation, and so it's interesting to see what the atmosphere is like this year. Um, it wasn't very crowded. I mean, it was crowded, but not to the level I've seen it yesterday. So Friday's usually the peak day for the drivers, and Saturday is the peak day for the families. The general public comes in and they, grab all the free swag that they can get. So, um, rub that lacrosse ball under the foot of the leg that hurts. Your thigh hurts, but the issue is above or below the pain. Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Thank you. Every day starts at 0, and then we judge ourselves based on the number of things we accomplished that day, no matter how productive we were the day before. In the morning, the leadership resets. Now, and Breed, that is such a healthy way to look at that. So thank you for that. In fact, I'm going to screenshot that. Went to Matt's probably 10 years ago. It didn't live up to my expectations, says James Clark. The only good was insurance company was raffling off a used truck. Look, Matt's isn't for everybody. I mean, I like the trade show aspect. I have not been out in the Pride and Polish area of the parking lot. I will probably try to do that Saturday. It just depends. I'm seeing changes like this in other broker apps too. Our performance are really starting to be extremely important. Yes. My CH rep informed me that if you're not tracking with the CH app, it affects your score, your performance rating. And so, like Lauren was telling us about brokers that will post on the 123 load board, but only the carriers that are set up with them can see these loads, and there'll be different tiers. And the DAT does something similar. Like, for example, if you have the 7-day average plan at DAT, there are brokers that pay extra money when they post their loads that you only see the 30-day average. So there's a lot of market manipulation. So it's just part of the game, right? It's just part of the game. Like the video that CDN and I did, and I put the non-live version on the YouTube Wednesday morning, I believe. It's just part of the game, right? And the more tools that you have at your disposal, the better. And performance is going to be important. Your email is going to be important. If you're late on a load, like I know a driver yesterday that screwed up his 8-2 split, and now he had to call a broker to tell him he was 2 hours late. Well, that's his main broker that he uses. So that might become a problem. So you really kind of have to be on your A game, and this market will weed out the weak. It will weed out the people that don't have a plan. I mean, mistakes can be made, and but if you're a one truck operation, it doesn't take much for your averages. One bad inspection can cause you to have a pretty low score when you or a pretty high score, I guess, when you look at your safer web results. So, but yeah, it's going to be important. So being on time, if your truck goes down, which a lot of trucks are going down, you show the repair receipts, you show the tow bill, you show that you truly, honestly, had a breakdown. And and some of these shyster companies that were doing really good that came in during the gold rush, and now they're ripping off their drivers by fixing their logs to give them more time, or they're altering their rate cons. They will put an abandonment thing on your record if you just even quit and you're not even under a load. So I mean, things are getting aggressive, and things are getting, it's the volatility is there, and that's the game that you got to sign up. That's the game that you've signed up for if you're in the spot market. But you know what? Contract freight is getting ready to see some major changes too. So just keep that in mind. Was going to try to make it up Saturday, but the youngest joined the track team at school, and we both know family first. LOL. Hope you have a good time. Well, Gary, it would have been good to see you, but yes, family is first. I have several subscriptions of low boards, and they all have same day average. Performance has always been judged. When I worked for brokers, that was what we looked at back in the 90s. And James Clark, nothing has changed. It's just more intense. There's more data mining. There's two big reasons why brokers want you to use their apps. Number one, tracking and performance. So they can kind of keep in the loop of your performance and what your habits are. Well, there's three. Second one is it keeps you off the low boards, so you're not looking at averages. So if you don't know how to price your load, talk to someone the other day that had no idea what they were pricing because they don't know their costs, and they're strictly going off that particular broker's app, and they had no idea what they were pricing. And then they wonder why they're going broke. So if you don't know your cost, okay, if you don't know your cost and you don't know your pricing, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you don't know the value of the lane that you're in, like you can't be in Miami asking for $3 a mile to go up to Michigan. You can't do that. You could try, but you're going to sit for 2 days until you're frustrated, and then you finally take your $1.10 coming out. So, or you just deadhead out and make zero. So I've learned these lessons the hard way, people. It's not like I'm supreme leader, blah, blah, blah. No, it's like I've made those mistakes. And then the third reason why these brokers want to use their apps, because they want to data mine. They want to show that they want to use that information against you. If they know that they got an influx of deliveries in Atlanta, that particular broker's freight out of Atlanta, they know they can price it lower. And it's always fluctuating, even though it doesn't fluctuate with the shipper as much. Some shippers fluctuate, some don't. But it's just like, sometimes you'll do a load from St. Louis to Columbus. You'll do it for X amount. Then a month later, you might do it for X amount. Your cost didn't change, did they? Well, the brokers do the same thing. It's not that hard to understand. I know, Shannon says, I know some drivers won't like it, but I'm excited about it because it will hold us accountable and allow us increased revenue when we provide great service. I'm all for it. CDN says that's why having a good TMS software, even as a solo carrier, is important. Take time to enter each load details, enter arrival and departure time, costs related to load. You can run reports to analyze. That is absolutely true. Jerome, good morning. Wheelburner, what's up, man? Been hanging out with Canadians. Been hanging out with Lauren from Canada. So they're everywhere. Good to see you, my friend. The data will help operators and brokers and shippers work together, in my opinion. The bar is raised. Having metrics to work towards is challenging. I've always preferred. And see, you like a good challenge, Shannon. And that's the difference between a lot of people right now. Is some people like challenges, some people avoid challenges. I talked to a driver yesterday. He was at a 65% company. So, I gave him one of our like trucking pamphlets, and he's like, I've been at this company for 10 years. I don't want to change. And that's fine. I can be like that at times. But at the same time, the good thing about this person, he was not complaining about his rates. He was not complaining about his loads. He was not complaining. So he's pretty content where he's at. And I can respect that. But some people just don't like change. Some people just want to put it on cruise control, put the foot up on the dash, and be good to go. And some people like challenges, you know. So I think Shannon's going to flip some heads here in a couple of days with what's going on with her. It depends on where those metrics are set. Some companies put extremely high metrics so you can't reach them. That is true, old school, new school. And so, just like any other business partnership, you have to recognize which partners are worth partnering up with. If there's a broker that does you shady, don't use them. Don't call them. If there's a broker that are always 20% less than what the average pricing is on that lane, don't call them. If there's a broker that's got a C credit rating, don't call them. If they ding you for every little minute that they're off, and one of the click and goes is pretty bad about that. Their geofencing is off. So they think that you've left before you did, or they think that you've arrived. Like when I deliver Tulsa Pepsi, hell, it shows that I'm at the customer like 4 miles before I get there. And if you don't have the paperwork just right, they'll ding you for that. If and sometimes it's the app's problem, not your phone, or it's those things. If their metrics are too difficult, what I suggest doing is you go up to that broker and you say, hey, I would have a better score if you had these different metrics. What can I do to convince you guys that your metrics are next to impossible? And if they aren't impossible, tell me how they are possible. Be a problem solver. Have a conversation with them. And if the person that you call is hard having a conversation, go above their head. Try somebody else. And if that becomes difficult to navigate, then you just take them off your list. I'm a solo carrier with the TMS system. I record every detail of a load. It works great in determining if I reject or accept based on history of that load. That's good, James Clark. James Clark, you sound like a very intelligent person. Snorelord, does JB Hunt have their 360 booth this year like they have in the past few? Yeah, let me look to see where they're at. So I'm going to go in the back here. I don't have my glasses, so this will be interesting. So let's look up brokers. So you got the table of contents, right? Exhibitors by product. So let's look up brokers. Damn brokers. All right. Okay. Brokerage and logistics. This is seeing, I'm not seeing under brokers and logistics. Huh. Maybe not. Uber Freight's in here, so it's like C.H. Robinson isn't in here this year either. I have not walked around. That's crazy. Let's see if I can find carriers. None of the carriers. No, I don't think they are. Huh, interesting. Interesting. Yearly, I like to get all our guys on the phone and go over yearly numbers. This year, one of our drivers had a bet with me that he will beat me on all metrics. Friendly competition can be good for all. Yeah, there's a few guys that do that here. Back in the day when the Dean and Sanborn were over here at Life Trucking, they had a friendly competition going, and they did it for the whole year. Everybody can see their own safety score, so there's a competition there on the Samsara. And so, that's a great idea. So if you have a small carrier and you're like a family like we are here, you can do a friendly competition. Yeah, Mr. Charles says I was just curious because we had talked about that 360 is falling down their priority list. And I agree with that. I definitely do. So if you're relying solely on JB Hunt's 360 freight, you're in for a challenging time, if not already. So it's time to adapt and overcome. That's kind of what you have to do, and that's a message for somebody. Adapt and overcome, because no one's going to hold your hand. People are willing to help you as long as you're not an a-hole. So, anybody come across Trucker Steve? Is that Ryan? I don't know if he's. I don't think he's here. I think he's all but left the trucking space when it comes to Texas isn't here either. Pale Rider's trying to make up for both those guys. So, but I haven't seen Alex yet. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning talking with Dr. Ken Berry. Now, Eskimo, you're old school, Ryan. Eskimo is definitely not here, and 2 times. Last I checked, man, his health was really bad, so I don't know if he's still around. I imagine that brokers are avoiding this trade show since it should be obvious that their system is not as popular as they would like. That is true. Let me look at see if Convoy's here. I've not seen a booth from them yet. Of course, like I said, I haven't walked around a whole lot. But usually Convoy's got like a strong presence. Yeah, Convoy's not here either. So the brokers that are here are Allen Lund, Amazon Relay, Aval, Avenue Logistics, Beelman Truck Company, Beyond Trucks, Bowers Trucking and Logistics, Christensen, CRST, DAT Freight and Analytics, Echo Global Logistics, Fleetspin, Haney and Wright Logistics, Jack Gray Logistics Network, LabWorks, Landstar, LoadSmart, Max Miles, Mercer, PFA, Pruitt and Son Trucking, Reinsfelder Relay Payments, that's a weird name, Rodex, Rose Rocket, Running Ox Logistics, RXO, Skelton Truck Line, Stayline Logistics, Taz Trucking, Top City Logistics, Toro TMS, Tracks North America Traffics, Trailer Transit. I didn't realize they were a broker too. Well, I guess they're a logistics service. Trailer Companies, Trans Service Logistics, Trucksit, Truck Stop, UACL Logistics, Uber Freight, Valley Transportation, Virtue Desk, and Werner Enterprises. That's it. So you're absolutely right. James, you're actually right. So I wonder if Shadow Wolf is going to be at Matt's. No, I don't believe he is. I wondered if anyone would be asking any of the brokers their thoughts on the FMCSA news on broker transparency regs remaining in place. Sounds like more asset-based brokerage, or there are not a whole lot of straight brokerages. Right. Allen Lund is there. I chatted with them last year. Rose Rocket is a TMS software. They are not a broker. Many of you listed are TMS software. Go check out Rose Rocket. Great TMS. Okay. Yeah, the category is actually brokerage and logistics services. So that's very interesting that C.H. Robinson isn't even here. So You should check out the Avenue Logistics people. I do a lot of work with them. I like them a lot. Okay. Pigtail. Got to see Pigtail yesterday. Gave me some Kansas City barbecue sauce. I can't wait to bust that out. So, a lot of, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the atmosphere is today. Today's usually the peak day for drivers. And, it's a lot of industry people that aren't drivers were in there yesterday, especially in the morning. And as people started to filter in, that there was more drivers. C.H. Robinson seems to be moving to more point-and-click brokerage. Yes, that is absolutely true, Gary. Um, Coyote went through a phase where you worked with your rep, and then it got to the point that you could get a better rate from the app than you could from your rep. And I had this conversation with our old rep. I was like, hey, I bid on this load. I was hoping to get 1,200. And he's like, well, the best I could do is 900. Well, you're at 1,000 on the app. He's like, well, and I put 1,200 and it took the load away. Is the load still available? It's like, yeah, they just hid it from you because your quota is too high. So if you want the load, you'll have to get it for 1,000. I can only offer you 900. Like, are you guys trying to push us to the app only? And he's like, yeah. Hey, guess what? That rep's no longer with them. He left. Imagine that. So I like Truck Stop TMS software, goes well with their load board. I will say I'm not familiar with Truck Stop hardly at all. I talked to them last year and they don't want to give you samples. They don't want to give you, oh, you can always cancel it. Yeah, I've seen how difficult it can be to cancel things. So yeah, no thanks. So if I was a flatbed or a reefer driver, I think Truck Stop might be a good option, but I'm pretty happy with what I have. Machine learned AI freight rates, says Sage Outcast. Truck Stop's low board session had a broker co-host. Very interesting session. Okay. Stuart, the Hobby Trucking. Good morning. So, anyways, get the manual. If you're showing up, get the manual. Look at the map. Look at the map I showed you on page 20. I believe it's page 20, where that shows the events. That 3D map is important. And we are right here. 1, 2, 3, low board and underfunding wheel right there. I am easy to spot and harder to get rid of. So, but at any rate, guys, we've been doing this for almost an hour. Any comments, questions, or concerns? If not, I will get off of here, get dressed and ready to go out and approach my day, and go pick up the old Pale Rider and help him get a cup of coffee. Gary Compton says, our Coyote rep informed us we are limited on their freight because of the number of loads we have pulled from them. For them, my thought is quality carrier over quantity carrier, but we all know the game, right? And here's the thing: once you know and understand the game, guess what? Now, I mean, the more you understand the rules, the more you can use the rules to manipulate them into your favor. Any tailgate parties last night? I'm sure there was a bunch, but I did not partake. Pale Rider's like, I'm ready. Get me out of here. So, Pale Rider's leaving tomorrow morning. So, this is his last day. So, everybody go check out Pale Rider. He's uploaded a bunch of videos from Matt's, and they're not getting any views. So, go support and help out his channel, please. LVC hooked him up with the show. He's out there working, networking. He's doing what he can. So, enjoy the show and have fun. Pale Rider, Shannon says, dang it, Pale Rider. CDN says, go have fun. Pigtail, I walked 14,000 steps yesterday and did not see half the show. That is absolutely true. I did not know that he was indicted, Utah. So let the games begin, right? Let the games begin. So that's all I'll say about that for now. Anyways, guys and gals, thanks for watching. And if you're at the show, man, come say hi, flip me the bird, tell me I suck, do whatever, right? We'll have a conversation. Peace. Strength for today, hope for tomorrow.